Council members, please.
A council meeting in Patterson took a turn for the worst Tuesday night when tempers turned physical, when Councilman Michael Jackson became infuriated with fellow Councilman Luis Velez.
So it looks like the beef between these city councilmen have been going on for quite some time. So I'm sure you guys may have checked out the video I released yesterday about Councilman Michael Jackson, which is funny, going against Councilman Velez, talking about his wife and how Velez has a wife that, as he is accusing of jumping over everyone else to get a job, a big promotion and a job, and Velez was really upset about that. It looks like these guys had a problem for a very beginning. So I was just on YouTube and found this video that was about a year ago. And it looks like this type of nonsense has been going on for quite some time. And we're going to dive into some of the issues involving Michael Jackson, this councilman, his legal issues, and the fact that he seems like he likes to get physical and intimidate people.
Mike Jackson is like Donald Trump, right? He's been charged, and it's like he's almost Teflon. That's got to end.
This is a year ago from the video that I posted the other day. So let's check it out.
Emotions were already running high over rampant gun violence during Tuesday night's city council meeting in Patterson, New Jersey. That's when First Ward Councilman Michael Jackson lost his composure over what he considered to be rival Councilman Luis Velez's disrespectful side chatter.
It's kind of crazy because literally the video that we talked about yesterday, Velez said the same thing to Michael Jackson. I can't get over the fact this guy's name is Michael Jackson.
Went from keyboard and clerk 1, making $35,000, got a new position with a $10,000 pay increase, doesn't speak English.
Wow.
Bro, Council President, or you stop him or I stop him.
But there was no stopping the back and forth between Patterson Councilman Mike Jackson and Luis Velez, despite the council president's best efforts to bring the Tuesday night meeting back to order.
They're talking about gun violence in Patterson, real people getting shot in the street. There's families who are grieving, kids dodging bullets, just trying to walk home. The type of thing that unfortunately happens a lot in our society. And somehow the conversation gets hijacked by some side eye and some whispers. So Michael is up there trying to express something personal. He said he just found out that he's related to a recent gun violence victim. So that's pretty heavy. And it's not necessarily just politics. That's personal pain when someone is taken away from you. And instead of channeling that moment into something that can do something positive, some real policy pushes, some demand for something, I don't know, better police responses, more youth programs, better anything. He flips out because Velez was talking during his speech.
Moments later, Jackson is out of his seat. Jackson is out of his seat, hovering over Velez. Jackson then shoves away the arm of an intervening police officer.
That is crazy. You should not be doing that. Not cool at all. You upset at the guy from talking, but you shouldn't be shoving away the cops. What? You're a councilman. That looks really weird. That looks like some off the hood stuff. And I'm just looking at it, I'm just giving you my perspective. This does not look good for you. And I can see why you guys having a back and forth that's been going on for quite a while. Even in this news story, he's considered your rival. You guys should be working together, but clearly you guys don't have any kind of togetherness. There's not a team. It's just everyone gets into these meetings. They see some cameras. They want to show how important they are. They are doing more than the other person next to them. This is why there's so many issues in so many of these communities across the country.
Before he's eventually calmed down, the council meeting abruptly adjourned for the night.
I was talking to my colleague next to me. I think he should be prosecuted. You know, I think I should not be living in this fear.
If you guys haven't checked out the video I made yesterday, you can tell that these people have these long, crazy feuds, personal feuds. And you can ask yourself this question: does this really help the people that they're supposed to be serving?
Jackson says he was distraught after learning he's related to one of the city's recent gunshot victims, but adds,
Was it in poor taste for me to walk over there and say something to him? Absolutely. I may have shoved the officer possibly too hard. I totally defend my actions.
That police officer who Jackson shoved pressed charges late Thursday. Jackson, who is already the focus of a state criminal investigation for alleged voter fraud, now faces charges of harassment for shoving the officer, disorderly conduct, and disrupting Tuesday's public meeting.
Hey, Michael Jackson, you have a lot of issues, man. Disrespect in a very tense moment, and I guess in his mind, with disrespect can hit different, especially if you have lost someone. But this isn't high school. This is a city council meeting. You're not there to feel heard. You're there to do something for the people that put you in that seat. And if your whole focus gets derailed by one guy muttering under his breath, it was never about the people. It was about ego. And this is where it starts, a simmering beef that actually overshadows actual work. And the sad part about this is nobody even remembers what was being said about gun violence. Only remember the explosion that came after. And that's the real tragedy here. So we're officially gone from this tense exchange to someone hold me back. Jackson comes out his seat, stands over Velez, and then all this is happening in the middle of the public meeting. Like, yo, the cameras are rolling, people are watching, and here you are charging a fellow councilman like this is WWE. This is not leadership, it's theatrics. And that's why the cop had to jump in, try and de-escalate it, and Jackson shoves him off like he's just some background noise. That's a line, and you crossed it. You're not just a loud councilman anymore. Now you're a public official with pending charges and a whole lot of explaining to do.
They're in fear when they go to these meetings because they never know what he's going to do with his outbursts.
Saying that's only because this isn't the first time Jackson has been in the hot seat.
Mike Jackson put his hand on a woman earlier this year at a public meeting. He has twice threatened Councilman Luis Velez at a public meeting. And at this most recent public meeting, he shoved a police officer. There's no reason why he should put his hands on anyone, let alone a police officer.
Councilman Michael Jackson has been juggling a council seat with a laundry list of legal problems that just keep adding up. This all started in 2020 where he was indicted on election fraud charges. According to New Jersey Attorney General, Jackson allegedly collected and submitted mail-in ballots illegally during the city's municipal election. The charges include the fraud in casting mail-in votes, unauthorized possession of ballots, tampering with public records, and falsifying records. Basically, the whole voter fraud starter pack. But that's not even the end of it. Fast forward to 2023, and Jackson was being investigated for witness tampering in the same case. The AG's office seized his cell phone, but Jackson refused to give up the passcode, claiming that he forgot it. State prosecutors weren't buying it and asked the judge to lock him up for contempt, saying that he was deliberately obstructing justice. Now I see why Councilman Velez mentioned something about Michael Jackson going to jail for something. Now it all kind of makes sense. This is a long-standing nonsense feud. And through all this, and throughout all of this back and forth, what was accomplished? Nothing. Nothing got passed. No policy got proposed. No action plan on even gun violence or even mentioned. Instead, this meeting ends in the chaos, people leaving, shaking their heads, and the city takes another L in the PR game.
Is a fierce critic of Patterson Mayor Andre Saya, who is calling on him to resign.
It reflects poorly. It's abhorrent. We do not need elected officials to behave that way.
All three of Jackson's criminal charges are misdemeanors. The case will not be held here in Patterson Municipal Court due to a conflict of interest.
Even though the mayor wanted him to resign, Jackson still got reelected last year. So he is still there fighting many of these cases that he is currently got himself entangled in. So you got Michael Jackson out there standing 10 toes down, pushing a cop on record, on video, in front of residents. And then you thinking, is this guy really caring about public service or public perception? And not in a smart way either. So you got two city councilmen, grown men, who have been beefing for probably years, not over policy, not over crime solutions, not over helping families get heat in the winter or kids in after school programs. They're just beefing over disrespect, some side comments, and who looked at who the wrong way during public meetings. So this has been a long simmering grudge match has been boiling over onto the internet for us to check out. So we'll be continuing to follow this story because it looks like Patterson has some real problems. There is obviously gun violence. There's some housing shortages. Families trying to survive while council members are out there politicking and beefing over nonsense. That's where it is. It's sad, it's messy, but this is exactly why people stop trusting the system. When every meeting turns into a soap opera, every disagreement ends in a mic being thrown or some kind of threat being made, who is actually running the city? Because from the outside, it looks like no one. It just looks like dysfunction on display. But let me know what you guys think about this story in the comments below. Thank you for taking time to watch this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.